Hello, everybody.
All right, Joe, this is People versus William Michael Stoll. It's case number 2413456 FH. Mr. Stoll, you filed a motion for rejection of jail sentence. You can go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and make your argument.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and make your argument. Tell me why I should grant this.
Your Honor, I've since I've become incarcerated, I realized that the things I've done was, or the things I did was not good. I missed out on opportunities on watching my daughter grow a little bit and learning some things that some first time things that kind of hit me hard. Since incarcerated, I've been incarcerated since October 8th. I became trustee on the 24th. I was in the kitchen cooking all the food for the jail. I stopped doing that January 20th to become third shift night trustee, which I had free roam of the jail. Since then, that's what I've been. I'm just asking for a reduction, sir. I'm ready to go home. Ready to spend time with my family. I learned from my mistakes. I'm not hoping not to do these things again. I just want to get out and be with my daughter.
How much time do you have left to serve?
I have 20 days. I get out on the 3rd. That's with a good time.
You got a 6-month sentence.
Yes, sir.
You remember what your advisory guidelines suggested at the time?
I had 2 different guidelines. I was sentenced to 24 months probation and then 6 months jail time.
Remember what his guidelines were?
0 to 17, according to the PSI, Your Honor.
Okay.
The offer was a cap at midpoint of those guidelines.
Is this your first methamphetamine conviction?
For in this state, yes, sir.
But other states you had convictions as well?
Missouri, I got out of prison in 2017, got off parole in 2019.
That was for a meth charge there?
Yes, sir.
Do you have other controlled substance charges, or convictions?
Not that I know of. Not in this state, not meth. I think I have a charge from 2012 for cocaine. But they ran that with my charges concurrent with what I was doing with down in Missouri. When I came back up on parole, I was arrested and they just took my license for a year.
So what's your plans when you get out?
Take care of my family and continue working.
Where are you gonna work?
I run a roofing crew
For who?
for a friend of mine named William Hoxie, Residential Renovations.
He's gonna take you back?
Yes, sir.
Have you done any work on the substance abuse issues in the jail?
In jail,
Yeah.
I didn't think they offered it here. Because I haven't heard anything of them offering any kind of substance abuse in this jail, sir.
Mr. Zerk, do they have any meetings or anything that he could have been doing in the jail?
I mean, I attend church every Wednesday.
But you go to church?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Anything else that you want me to consider, Mr. Stoll?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Robinson?
Your Honor, it appears that this defendant has drug charges in Missouri going back to 2009. It appears he's had a pretty consistent drug problem, at least based on his police history since then. As I've said before, the guidelines on this were 0 to 17. People offered a cap at midpoint. Your Honor, sentenced him to 6 months, which is less than you could have. In addition, the people dismissed as part of this a felony firearm with a pneumatic gun, so he could have been facing much more time with that charge on there. So based on that and the defendant's history, the people would argue that he got a pretty good deal here and that no additional benefit is necessary. Of course, as this court is aware, it is entirely at the court's discretion, and I have nothing further to offer the court in making that decision. Thank you.
All right. Well, the court's going to deny the motion for reduction of sentence. We got 20 days left. I hope that you do well once you get out. As the prosecutor indicated, you know, they felt your sentence should have been 9 months. I took 90 days off of it at that time. Yeah, I don't see. I don't see anything exceptional here why we're making additional reductions. So court is going to deny your request for a reduction in jail sentence. Hope you do really well on probation. It sounds like your mind's in the right place. Sounds like you're gonna be all right.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Morning. This is Miss Taylor and Schlewitz, is that right?
Yeah,
5A01211156. Here for Raymond is Taylor and Schlewitz, your true and correct name.
yes,
Your date of birth is December 24th, 1991.
yes, sir.
Earlier, I went over your right to arraignment with you. Any questions about your rights I wasn't able to answer?
No, sir.
All right, I've gone over the charge, the maximum penalty, and the mandatory minimum penalty. We'd acknowledge the complaint, wait for more reading, and ask you to plead not guilty.
Plea of not guilty will enter. Probable cause was previously found on February 6th. What is the city's recommendation regarding?
Based on defendant's warrant fight repair history, including 2 active warrants out of Linwood Municipal Court, city believes the defense a high risk of failures to appear, is requesting bail in the amount of 500 cash or bond and standard conditions, including no contact with the airport.
Any objection to those conditions?
Your Honor, I know Ms. Schlutz has indicated she's aware that she has to take care of some other matters. She's hoping the court releases her on this case. It is a good address. She does have the ability to show up for court and abide by the other conditions, and she's would screen for the public defender. Release.
Ms. Chenwiller, what is, other than the active warrants out of Linwood, what warrant activity does Ms. Schwartz have?
I do have, and I had notes from the 2 previous dates where the defendant refused that there was also a warrant out of Bellingham Municipal Court.
Yeah, I see that. I can scroll through your warrants now that it finally loaded. In 2024 alone, it 8 warrants in Linwood, 8 warrants last year alone. I am going to maintain bail in the amount of $500. Do you believe you'll be posting that amount?
I'm not sure. I was just hoping to see with my first court date if you guys could release me. I don't know why it said I refused court 2 days ago. They didn't even ask me to attend. They slipped me a piece of paper saying that I refused, but that wasn't even the case. Had I had the option to go 2 days ago, I would have been there. So this just keeps getting dragged on and prolonged anyway. That's not how I even like handling things. Like, if you guys could release me and so I can get these warrants taken care of. Bellingham and Linwood, I don't think is even gonna do anything to me or for me if I stay here just to try and clear that up. I just can't see, I just don't see any point in doing anything other than trying to release me today.
Well, I tend to disagree with you, given that, as I said, you have 8 warrants last year. You have 8 times when you didn't come to court, which says to me, you're not likely to come back to court.
For CTAC, ma'am?
Nope, for a number of different courts. So I do think posting bond is appropriate in this case. I believe you're a flight risk.
That's not possible for me. I can't do that. So how long am I gonna be here for?
We can set this over till later this week
What would be the point of that?
to resolve your case, one way or the other.
Why can't we resolve it today?
Ms. Reinati, she does have a right to plead guilty at arraignment.
I agree. I mean, I can.
What?
I guess I agree. I just, right now, I think we proceeded with the arraignment, so I don't know if that's the same situation, but I can talk to her about entering a plea today if that's truly what she wants to do.
If I
Like,
plead
not-
guilty today, can I get
Hold
relief?
on, don't say anything, because I don't know that that's what the city is recommending either, so. I can go into a breakout room with, I think, if you could send me an email, Ms. Chenwaller. Mr. Thwaites, I'm gonna send you a request to go into a breakout room. You could use the mouse to click join. We are ready to proceed. I did speak with Ms. Thwaites about her right to plead guilty, and it sounds like she does want to plead guilty at this time, so I filled out the plea paperwork. Went over the rights that she is giving up by pleading guilty, went over the entire document with her. I believe answered all her questions about pleading guilty. And I have gone over any immigration consequences, so we are asking the court to accept this plea at this time.
Ms. Lewis, can you please unmute?
Yeah.
So I have a document here entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty. Towards the bottom of it, on the line that says defendant's signature, it's blank. Have you not signed it yet just because you have no way to sign it?
Yes,
If you had had a way to sign it, would you have signed it?
yes,
SCORE will give you a chance to sign it after this hearing. Do you promise to sign it at that time?
yes,
When you reviewed this form with your attorney, did he read it to you? Did you read it by yourself or did you read it together?
both.
Was he able to answer any questions that you had?
Yep,
As I review this form with you, please stop me at any time if you'd like to ask him another question.
okay,
Is your true and correct name Taylor Ann Schlewitz?
yes,
And you're 33 years old?
yep,
What is the last level of education you completed?
GED.
The parties have any objection to me adding that?
Oh, yeah, no objection.
You're pleading guilty to the crime of criminal trespass in the first degree. Do you understand the elements of that crime? In other words, what the city would have to prove if you were to take this case to trial?
I believe I do, yes.
By entering into this plea, you're giving up a number of very important constitutional rights. Among these are the right to a speedy and public trial, to remain silent during that trial, or to choose to testify, to see, hear, and question witnesses who would testify against you, to have witnesses testify on your behalf at no expense to you, to the presumption of innocence unless and until a jury were to find you guilty, and to appeal a finding of guilt. You understand you're giving up all those rights.
Yes,
The crime of criminal trespass in the first degree is a gross misdemeanor punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. Is that your understanding?
yes,
I know your attorney and the city attorney have an agreed recommendation, but the court does not have to follow that and can sentence you anywhere up to the maximum. Is that your understanding?
yes,
Do you understand in the event you're not a citizen, a guilty finding on this charge may be grounds for deportation, denial of naturalization, or exclusion from the United States?
yes,
Did anyone make any promises to you to get you to enter into this plea?
no,
Did anyone make any threats to get you to enter into this plea?
no,
Are you doing this of your own free will?
yes,
In paragraph 11, there's a statement that reads, on February 5th, 2024 in SeaTac, Washington, at the SeaTac Airport, Port of Seattle, I knowingly entered and remained in the airport without lawful authority to be there. I know your attorney wrote that statement, but do you adopt it as your own statement?
yes,
Is it a true statement?
yes,
As to the crime of criminal trespass in the first degree, how do you plead?
guilty.
I will accept the plea. I do believe it's knowingly, voluntarily, intelligently made, and there's a factual basis to support it. Ms. Chenweller, anything to add to the sentencing recommendation?
It is an agreed recommendation subject to Blazina inquiry. Defendant has 6 days credit for time served, asking for conditions including no contact with the airport and clear the 2 Linwood Municipal Court and 1 Bellingham Municipal Court warrants by March 10th.
Thank you.
Nutty?
And, this is an agreed recommendation. Ms. Thwaites does plan on taking care of her warrants. She does receive food stamps and, was on SSI, but that sounds like she's still working to try and get on SSI. Is not currently working, so she is hoping the court reduces whatever financial obligations are, and follow the recommendation.
Ms. Schlein, is there anything you'd like to say?
No. Review.
I'm gonna follow the agreed recommendations. So some as follows. 364 days in jail with 358 suspended with 6 days credit for time served. $5,000 fine, all 5,000 suspended as I'm making the finding that you're indigent. I'm not imposing any fines, fees, costs, or assessments, and there's nothing mandatory for this charge. Jail time will be concurrent with any other holds, and the court is taking 24 months of jurisdiction. For the next 24 months, you need to abide by the following conditions. Attend any future court appearances, have no new criminal law violations, update your address with the court and DOL immediately if there are any changes. And the address we have on file is on Stone Avenue North. Is that still a good mailing address?
Yeah,
And have no contact with SeaTac International Airport or the rental car facility except for valid travel purposes. So unless you have a ticket to fly somewhere, you cannot be there.
okay,
And by March 10th, so 30 days, you have to clear the warrant, 2 warrants out of Linwood and 1 out of Bellingham.
okay.
I put on here also the dates of our next 2 community court resource centers. It sounds, looking at your history, it seems like you're located more north of here. But if SeaTac is convenient for you, you're more than welcome to use the resource center. We have all kinds of different things. We can help you get back on SSI, state insurance, housing, jobs, anything that you'd be looking for. The next one is Wednesday morning at 8:30. It runs all morning. And then the one after that is Wednesday, February 19th in the afternoon. And if you miss both of those and are still interested, feel free to call the court and we'd be happy to let you know in the next one.
Okay,
And I am appointing Mr. Arnone's firm to represent you.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I wish
Okay.
you all-
Thank you all for coming out tonight. I love you so much, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate every one of you. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.